Hi everyone, I'm Adam Isgreen, Creative Director at Microsoft, and with me is Torin Rettig, producer. And we are, welcome to the first Twitch stream of Xbox One content for Microsoft.
Exciting.
We haven't done this before. Everything should work just fine. We thought for the first show what we would start with is Killer Instinct, since it's one of our favorites here in the studio, and we've been having a lot of fun getting it ready for Gamescom and PAX and for eventual release. So what we want to do is do some playing. Torin and I will talk about the changes we've made since EVO, all of the improvements we've done to the engine, and of course we will spend a good deal of time talking about Thunder, since he's our brand new character brought back from his long hiatus from KI1, and we'll give you a great taste of what you can expect out of playing him as well, and he's quite a beast.
Yep, yeah, he was just revealed. We've been getting tons of awesome response to the character. Players are really loving him. Yeah, we can't wait to show him off for you guys.
Alright, so let's get started.
Rock and roll.
So I apologize, because one of the things is that talking and playing don't really go hand in hand, so if you see us not being as awesome as we could be, it's because we're talking about things.
Yeah, you will experience our awesomeness.
I want to hear the full-on trash talk.
Oh, yeah. That might be a little, edited. So one of the things, we've got skins. So Glacius here, we've got our super fuchsia pink purple that everyone kept asking for coming back from the original. Where's my pink Glacius? So he's back, and then we've got this really killer golden colored one. A lot of these skins are all unlocks, so as you play through the game and play with the characters, you earn points that you can spend on all kinds of fun things to unlock, a lot of which are really awesome that we're not going to talk about just today, but one of them being these really cool skins, so I would say Glacius.
Yeah, this is my favorite Thunder color. He just looks even angrier than normal, so let's go with it.
Alright. Well, you've got to go with, let's go with Devil's Landing. So we'll play on Thunder's new stage.
Yeah, one of the special things about Thunder Stage is it's all about weather and extreme weather. As we get deeper and deeper into the battle, as downs happen, we'll see more and more weather reaction. And when Thunder attacks, you'll also see weather, thunder and lightning and stuff.
All right. So one of the first things that we've changed in this version, Torin's not even giving me a second. Evil. So evil. One of the things that we've done is, first off, Glacius hasn't undergone a lot of changes since EVO. We've done some tunings on some of his moves and attack priorities. But one of the things we've done is actually allow him to hold projectiles. So now you can hold any projectile that you put over your head. Obviously, it's better to do on light, and that way you can still poke. If it goes off the screen, you'll lose it, but essentially what you can do is you can leave it sitting there and then let it go whatever you want, which means it's fully combo. You can put it into any combo you want, which makes it very satisfying. Oh, ow. I'm surprised you didn't try to break that. Have a little neck. Ow, oh god, and follow it up. Oh, you just wasted it.
Yeah, I'm
so Thunder has a 2-hit overhead that you just saw there, which is really nice. You can cancel it into just about anything, which makes it very powerful. Ow.
Yep, panic DP.
Here comes the rain.
Yep. Yeah, you can see as the weather is increasing, we got rain on Thunder Stage, we're getting more cool stuff.
We got some questions. Glacius come in strawberry or sour apple?
What was that?
Does Glacius come in strawberry or sour apple?
I will happily name the colors that.
That's fantastic.
So you can see the trees reacting, the weather's getting even more extreme, more rain, more craziness.
Oh god, that one out. Just my break. Ow! Followed up. What are you gonna do with it? Oh, you didn't. So Thunder's command grab, if you do the shadowed version, you can actually follow it up with, with 2 launches, so pretty much I'm juggleable. And of course, one of Thunder's best assets is Skyfall after Tsunamish, which is his awesome anti-ground launcher. So, Torin, why don't you just back up, since I'm almost dead anyway.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do a normal heavy Tsunamish, so you can see the distance. Okay, now do one cancel to the Skyfall. So you can see what you do is you can basically, one of the real skills that you want to learn playing Thunder is the ability to cancel at any opportunity from the Sammamish into the Skyfall, because it even allows you to do cross-ups on wake-ups. So even at a good distance from the screen, Thunder can be a real threat to the player. And because that Sammamish is projectile invulnerable, even if I'm holding Hail here, that's not going to make much of a difference, because he can just come right through it. If I hold it long enough, I can keep it for against the Skyfall. But basically, yeah, see, that would go right through.
I think we got an echo problem, guys. What do we do with the magic wand? Oh, that's so hated. That's fantastic.
Alright, go ahead, kill me. Do something fun. Oh, here we go. Ultra, are you gonna cancel it? Oh, cancel. What's it gonna do? Ouch.
That's fantastic.
It's a yum yum. We actually have all of Thunder's dialogue is actually authentic now.
Yep.
And it was actually recorded by Ken Lobb, who was the original voice of Thunder in KI1. Came back and reprised his role as Thunder this time.
Multi-talented.
But now being actually authentic.
Yep.
To the Nez Perce kind of Indian dialect.
Yep.
One of the fun things too is obviously we have new skins, and I'll actually use Saber when we talk about one of the other new changes we've added. And I'll use our awesome tritone Saber here because this is cool looking.
Yep.
So one of the changes we've made since Evo is how we deal with potential damage. So what potential damage is essentially in our game, combos are really important, and ending a combo is even more important. So we have a system that a lot of your moves add potential damage instead of immediate damage, but you have to use an ender to cash that in. One of the big changes we've made since Evo is that we've made it so that potential damage isn't just lost if a character is dropped out of a combo. So what happens is, just stand there for a second, I'm going to beat on you. So for example, with Saberwolf, if I get into a combo and I start doing Ravage, you can see that I'm building up massive potential damage, and I'm going to drop it on purpose. Oh, and look, it's just sitting there decaying. So what this basically allows you to do is, as a Saber player, you can basically use resets to a massive advantage to do stupidly huge combos. So if you think some of the combos you've seen online, you know, bam, 31%, and that wasn't even really a long combo.
Yeah. Once that potential damage is there, all you have to do is end once, and then you get all that potential damage back.
Yep.
So it's pretty brutal, and it creates a lot of tension in the match, which is really great. It makes players play very aggressively, which is what we definitely do.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some combos with resets, and players guessing very poorly go into the 60-70% range pretty easily, and that's without doing instant cancels or any of our other kind of neato tricks you can do at a high level. And that's been really satisfying because, again, it keeps the matches moving really quickly, which is something that we really wanted to make sure we did. We felt some of the matches were going a little too long, and it's one of the changes that really added a lot to the game.
And there were just a few too many breakers we had this. One of the things we did to address that is we changed the double timing. So light doubles are a little bit faster now. Medium doubles are I think are a little bit faster, and the heavy doubles I think are around the same.
Yeah.
This makes players really commit to how they're going to break. All of that, and it's really rocking and rolling.
I don't have any instinct, I can't cancel it.
But it's a really important change. Another thing we did is we made a third linker. So normally there are just two linkers. There's a light and there's a medium. Now you can do a heavy linker if you hold down on either the light or the medium button when you do your linker. And
right. Actually, tell you what, why don't you play Thunder and I'll play Jago, and we can we'll show that off. Yeah. And again, new colors. And we have even more. There are all kinds of cool things, and some of them are definitely different. Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember that movie.
Dating myself.
I'm totally dating myself.
Yeah.
It was so awesome they looped a helicopter. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know, pick one. Sweet. The Alexis stage.
For blue or matchup. Go.
So linkers. Basically, a lot of feedback that we got from the game was that if people were drifting towards breaking on linkers instead of breaking on doubles because of the way that you had basically a 50-50 chance because all linkers had to be lights or mediums. because if they were using heavies, it was an ender and it didn't really matter. So one of the things we've been experimenting with is the idea of heavy linkers, like Torin said, and how we've basically implemented those right now is through using the light or medium buttons, but basically holding them.
So you can just do like 1, 2, 3, so light.
Like there, 1, 2, 3. So that was a heavy linker right there, 1, 2, 3. See, basically all you do is you have to hold the button, either light or medium, in order to get a heavy linker. It's a great thing because again, it gets away from the 50-50 game that we really wanted to avoid. I don't know if we're not 100% sold on the input, the way of inputting it. We don't have anything else in KI that works on hold.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
you kind of get used to it at first. It does take a little.
Yeah, it's one of those things we're going to keep experimenting with as we go towards launch and figure out what the best way is to. Because we like the idea of it, it's just a matter of figuring out what the best input is. We're trying to avoid a lot of complicated input on this game. That was something that KI never really was about. Nice. And so, oh yeah, yeah, it's just one of those things like, even Thunder's command grab, originally we were talking about doing more classically, grappler 360 kind of moves, and it just doesn't fit KI's mindset. We never wanted commands that were really more complicated than an uppercut or a half circle, and so we're trying really hard to maintain that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that new mechanic. Some of the other things that we've done. We tightened up the throw windows, so throws are a little harder to do and a little harder to break. We felt like it was a little too easy. Someone could walk up. Oh man! Oh, you missed it. And it was really just perfect. It was just too easy to do.
Yep.
Let's see what else.
Or doubling and linking and whatnot.
Yeah. You're waking up on that. That's silly. Oh, so one of the other things we're doing too, and I'll activate it here, is one thing we're not 100% happy with yet that we're working on with Jago is his instinct mode. So one of the things that we've still got in is, counter breaker, you're so dead. Anyway, so while I kill him, boom, I could have done. So one of the things that we've done is basically that Jago's ultra instinct right now is that he heals as you're. He heals as after you activate it. And while we think that's fun, the problem is that we've seen a lot of play where basically people just try to run away when they have healing activated. So we're looking at ways of changing that into something that has to be more aggressive. So essentially the idea, God, you just fell for that. And then of course I dropped it. So the idea we're going for is more of a thing where Jago's instinct is probably going to change such that you have to be aggressive in order to gain the healing. So what's going to happen is as long as you're you're pressuring the opponent either through hits or through blocking, you'll gain back health. But otherwise, if you basically just go sit in a corner, instinct's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah, we were trying to get players to play a bit more aggressively, trying to get them away from the much. And also making it so these Jago matches don't last forever.
Yeah, because the health thing is cool, but it's just we never, like when you just go neater and run away, that's just not the kind of gameplay we're trying to hold.
It's not in the spirit.
Yeah. Ow. Why did I not counter that? Nice. Oh!
I just didn't want to win.
Fantastic.
I don't.
Oh, ow. My liver. Wake up. Yeah, we got new crumple animations in now, so guys just don't fall over.
I wish that would.
It does. Use Fierce. Fierce is like your best. So a lot of Thunder's throws, like, how do you get out of Thunder's throws? There's a lot of tick throwing you can do with Thunder, but the nice thing is pretty much all of his throws have about a 5-frame start up and up. So you can jump out of most of them. It's just you have to basically get in to be able to read the player, know who you're playing against, that they really are going to do a tick throw. And if you know it's coming, you can get rid of it. But, oh gosh, that's really dangerous. Oh god. One of the things you really want to watch out for is when Thunder goes into instinct mode, his instinct basically allows him to dash teleport, which is pretty much the most heinous thing you'd ever want to, a grappler to have.
It's the best thing on earth.
So,
as someone who mains grapplers,
generally try to stay away from him when he's doing that. Ugh, smush. Also, the great thing about Thunder is he's got a, he's a threat at like this range. Oh, no, he's gonna kill me. Okay. No, I was just gonna say, Thunder, the great thing about Thunder is he's even a threat at like this range, right? Like, the thing about even his normals, just stay where you are, even his normals, like, or your grab, your first grab, like, he's got a great range, so it's not, whereas KI, a lot of the characters have to play, except for Glacius, have to play really up in your face. The great thing about Thunder is even at medium range, he has several normals and a bunch of command moves that are really effective, which make him really, yeah, I'll switch. Which just add a great mix to it because you don't feel comfortable even when he's just at kind of normal ranges.
Yeah, yeah. The Samamish into the Skyfall into his foot drop is like amazing. When it first got in and the range you get off of it is just like stunning. So it's like really satisfying. It's really unusual and really gratifying for a grappler or character to be able to get in so quickly like that. There is a high risk reward to it, but when you get in, it's like it's awesome. So.
Saberwolf stage. I love this stage.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I mean, it says so much about the character himself, and that's something that was really important to us. That the stages, in addition to the outfits we want to really say what they're about. So you can see in the Saberwolf stage, he's got all of this chemical equipment. You know, he's got all these crazy machines going, and it shows who he is as a character. You know, he's experimenting with himself. He's experimenting with different things. He's trying to cure himself, but he's also trying to enhance himself. You know, he's kind of coming to grips with the fact that he's a werewolf. He's becoming more and more. He's letting the beast kind of take over, kind of trying to control it. And you see that, you know, this palette over here with like the electrodes, like that's him. That's not for anyone else. That's for him. He's experimenting on himself. It's like crazy and it's dark and it's awesome.
There's a lot of love for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things we're trying really hard to do is, you know, the challenge of bringing back a fighting game that's been out of the public eye for 18 years, right, has been how we treat each character and how we bring them back with their origins in respect to the first two games. And so Saberwolf was one that we always just loved from the get-go, the idea of this tortured, cursed scientist that basically has gone desperate, essentially, to try to find a cure to the point where he's just experimenting on himself. And that'll play into kind of his story as we go through the kind of character evolution with Saberwolf, how he deals with that. Yeah, you just need
it's just like homeless.
I know, right? Oh,
we got a question about the fight sticks.
Yes.
Are those Xbox fight sticks being used, or are they fight sticks designed specifically for X1?
These are the fight sticks we're using are sticks that have all of the internal guts of the new X1 sticks on them, essentially, which allows us to actually use them on the kit.
Mike says you need to use more heavy lasers at them.
Yeah, I probably do. Like, heavy linkers are one of those things that even we're just still getting used to. It's something that's been in the build for probably about 3 weeks now, and we really like it. It's just a matter of just... Well, also, you know the thing is, Mike, I would use more heavy linkers, but Torin doesn't seem to actually be breaking my linkers. So, like, I'm not really as worried.
Right?
Not really as worried about the linkers.
Not even making you work.
Yeah, we're not even... talking renders me unable to do mostly... to even try to do manuals while I'm discussing this stuff. So.
Easy.
Alright, okay. Okay,
let's
here
try
we go.
strawberry.
We're gonna go for
strawberry glacius. That one's my favorite.
Pinky is. You want a unicorn horn, don't you, Alex?
I do. I want a unicorn glacius. I'm sure there's like a million.
Well, I will say one of the things that we've announced, and I know that there have been some comments on some of the forums about like the value on costumes. Like, what are we doing with costumes? Like, what are these guys? You know, what are these going to be worth? What are they like? I will tell you that we're going a lot further than other fighting games in terms of the costumes. We're taking a very different approach. So not only are we going to offer, like Ken said on his interview from Gamescom, not only are we going to be offering some classic skins for some of these characters, so those of you that are missing some of the original looks of these guys will be able to do them. But there's also a lot of other nuances and accessories you're going to be able to customize on each character. So there's a whole bunch of things you can do to make your character look unique in multiple different ways, not just the color, the map color.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh, Jago, it's like putting on a warm sweater. Comfy sweater. Oh. Oh, how did I drop? Oh, I know why. So one of the things you can do with Jago is, it's called Round the World, and essentially it's a throwback to Cat 1 and 2, and that is that you can kind of piano down the punch buttons, or actually it doesn't matter, you can piano down the kicks too, so you can mix it up. Basically kind of a throwback to how the old auto and linker system worked in Cat 1 and 2. And they do, for Jago, it does a tremendous amount of it does a tremendous amount of potential damage, so you can do stupidly awesome combos even without Shadow Meter. Oh, meter. It's like, where is my Shadow Counter? Oh, it chips you out! Jeez! Chip you out. Get up, pink guy. You're strawberry.
There we go.
You taste like strawberries.
He's got that.
Rainbow Glacius.
Well, I'm punching. Oh, Rainbow Glacius. That's a great idea. Mike, you heard that, right? Mike's in the chat, so.
Glacius gets armor.
Yep.
Yeah, so Glacius is instant. Go ahead and activate it. So his armor, basically what it does is it absorbs a hit and then it regens after a couple seconds once he loses it. So as long as you've got that, yeah, it is essentially the better not attack me or better always use things like that. Like Laser Sword, double hit, anything that basically you can use that's going to do pressure or 2 hits is the only thing you want to use on Glacius when he's got armor, because otherwise it's a very risky proposition.
I didn't hear it. Mike wants to know what you said. He said, I didn't hear it. What is Adam saying?
I said someone suggested Rainbow Glacius, and I think that's an awesome, like, prismatic Glacius.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool, like a total pearlescent version that reflects the environment.
Only all after we have Unicorn Glacius.
Only after Unicorn Glacius?
Yeah.
We could actually make
That's priority. Unicorn Glacius is priority.
Gotta do it now.
Unicorn Glacius.
I just want to reinforce that I have absolutely no authority here. So anyone listening to this stream.
Also, I'm not promising anything.
I could ask for Bacon Glacius and it wouldn't matter.
Bacon Glacius. Well, actually, Glacius. Honestly, I think there's going to be a couple skins that people are going to be like, A, they're going to think we're insane, and B, they're going to think they're awesome, or C, both. Given some of the things that we're.
I think we
there are a couple.
The
yeah, there are definitely.
In mind.
There are some skins that people are going to be like, oh my god, that's awesome, and other people are going to be like, that is the most wrong thing ever.
Jello Glacius.
Yeah. I mean, totally. I mean, we're seeing them now, but the concepts for our skins and accessories are so awesome.
Yeah, they're really.
We want to show them.
Yeah, I really. If they were further along, I would be happy to like break all kinds of rules and put them on a stream or something. Ow!
Ow!
Dog. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Jello Glacius with fruit inside.
That's kind of awesome. I honestly,
like
you know,
blow pop.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a bunch of skins that are serious, but we're definitely gonna have some that are more lighthearted for the characters. I think people will be pretty happy with what they see, and that's part of the. You know, I know we have our $20 version where you're going to get the first 8 characters and just the characters, but with the Ultra Edition where you get all the skins, that's actually going to be quite a bit of changes in costumes and custom. Oh, it's low.
Oh my god. We have Marshmallow Glacius. Mike has added, I like his version, Vodka Glacius with olives and lime.
Dude, that's awesome.
Dirty Martini Glacius. Push-up top Glacius. This is totally digressed.
Dude, this is fine. I'm good with it. Like, send the suggestions. And the thing is, we're going to add more costumes too as we. I love that throw. Well, the things are, we're going to add more costumes as we go. It's always going to be one of those things that it's there for people that just want to. Oh, Alex is.
Johnny Luchador wins. I'm a fan of this Enrique Glacius. Oh, that was
nice.
good. Sorry, that's good too. That was good.
Ow! Oh, you dropped it. Let me just throw you for your trouble. Oh.
Yeah, you should do a few of the combos with throws in the middle. Those are cool.
Yeah, so one of the cool things about Thunder is that you can actually use linkers as throws. So you can, well, if I can keep going.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, the lag! Oh, sorry. We're just beating on people.
We'll try again.
Okay, anyway, I'll let you do it. I'm just having too much fun beating on you. Yeah, Thunder's a lot of fun. He's like Patrick said in the video when we announced him, he was one of the first characters we had on our list, even in the original doc that we created that we when we were going over redoing the game. He was one of the guys that was on there. Because there's a lot of he's one of those characters that people are like, Thunder, really? But there's just a lot of love for him, and he cuts quite a figure in terms of fighting games. And it's great to see people who really responded to his new look.
Yeah.
In a way that was really positive. It's difficult for Thunder to bring him back in original form. There wasn't a lot of things that were very authentic to a Native American in his original design, and so we were trying to be really faithful yet create this really badass fighting game character. So it was a tough line to walk. It's been difficult for all of the characters in some ways. I know some people prefer the original Glacius. A lot of us really like the new design because it fits him better. But there are always those people who are like, oh, I want the OG. Well, we got you covered. So when it comes to skins, I don't think you will be disappointed.
You will be.
Yeah, I think you'll be very, very happy. But for the play style, it was appropriate that we wanted to make some changes. And with having a gap, has allowed us to have a nice. There's certain amounts of the history that, because we haven't been making killer instinct games for the last 18 years, we were able to make some changes that I think kind of bring it more in line with a fighting game today. That was nice.
You guys are all starting to get super gamer. You're getting dead quiet over there.
Yeah,
The gamer
well, sorry, no, we're
and it's gotten serious.
Juggle. There we go.
It's gonna get personal soon.
I'm trying not to be very competitive here. I'm really not. I haven't gone into win mode or anything like that because I know I'm talking and therefore I can't really do anything. Oh god. Why did you? No, that was smart. Ow, nice overhead. Hey, let me waste that shadow counter while you didn't do anything.
Oh, that was a shadow?
Yeah, I did a shadow counter. So, a lot of you guys that obviously have been following Killer Instinct kind of know about all the different nuances and things that we can do. Can we show off any of those? Oh god, look at all that potential damage. Alright, so some of the other things that some of you might not know about that you can do in KI. So, obviously we have a system to be educated. Okay, you stomp on me. So you cross a potential off of mid-screen, kind of awesome. Especially think about that on Wake Up, right? Games you can play just evil.
And just it's just wow.
So let's show. Since some people haven't seen this, let's show counter breakers and shadow counters. So why don't you go and just do a shadow at me? So one of the things we've got is the ability to shadow counter. Essentially what a shadow counter does, just like that, is you basically burn a block of meter, and you burn a block of meter to, while you have to be blocking using now. Block. And basically what it does is, see that time I timed it wrong. So how shadow counters work is once you activate it, it burns a block of your meter, and you've got 20 frames. Just go ahead and build meter. Go ahead. You've got basically 20 frames to get hit by the opponent. If you do, you immediately counter them with a shadow move of your own. So essentially you've reversed the combo onto them. It's kind of one of the ways that we've... There we go. So it's kind of one of the... Oh! You countered that.
But you have to time it right.
Yeah, you gotta time it right. Because if you don't time it right, or you don't use it on a move that's guaranteed to have a quick second hit, you can fall out of it and then just get punished for it. And you're totally open. Got him that. See?
Now it's tricky.
Now the interesting thing with Thunder too is that he has a hit of armor. So one of the things about Thunder's triple axe is that basically he can take an extra hit. So shadow countering the triple axe is actually not very good. It's not a wise thing to do when you're playing against Thunder.
We want to see Can we see a Thunder versus Glacius? I want to see grapple versus Stone.
Oh sure.
Yeah, sure. We can do that in a second.
Yeah, so I can do the low one. Do you have the difference on the low one?
Oh,
that one's pretty fast. Oh no.
That time's almost up.
Sorry.
No,
okay, let's try again.
No, do whatever you want. What are you doing? See, there I messed up because I did it too early.
But if you do it on the very last hit, then you'll basically open the lead up.
Well, no, you have to do it on the fourth hit.
The second to last.
Like there, right? You don't want to do it on the last hit, otherwise then you're going to be hit by something else. It's only on the fourth. The fourth hit is where it really matters. So yeah, that's something that's really it's changed the game a lot because basically certain characters like Thunder get very scary when they have meter. But basically, if someone has a block of meter, you always have to think about you can't just pressure them with a shadow move unnecessarily anymore because you're just going to end up. Who do you want to play? You going to play Thunder or Glacius?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, we'll play Thunder. Yeah, you have to be really careful when you use shadows now in pressure, because before it was just like, oh, okay, free chip damage, and I can push him into the corner and do whatever you need to do. But now it becomes like, oh, great, if I do this, he's totally going to shadow counter me. And it's just smart to use it against other shadows coming in that you block, but you don't have to. You can use it at any point.
You can change the save your meter. You know, you can basically gotta burn it.
Right, and the cool thing is because people fall into patterns when they play fighting games in terms of the moves they use. Generally, after a while, you can read that somebody always does, like, I always do, like, a light kick into, you know, a light triple axe or something like that, a crouching light kick. Once you get into that, you can start using the shadow counters when you know that second hit is coming and immediately reverse the combo. So even while someone's pressuring you, you have a lot of options.
That is super satisfying.
One thing we've done too with Glacius is that his shatters, which was basically his ground explosions that he can do, which are also unblockable. We basically increased. Well, why don't you back up? This has got the So what? Oh, look at that. We've actually. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the Evo build in previous, you've never been able to get that far out. So another thing we've done is let you get further out in the match. But one of the things that we've had to do with Glacius then is to make sure that he still has pressure, because Glacius is our long-range character. So not only does he have his hail, which he can hold now, but he also has his shatter moves. Do your shatters. So like, where's yours? Yeah, so one of the things we're doing is we're actually going to be tweaking the ranges of his moves to give them a wider dispersal and covering more area, so even at max range, he's still going to be a threat to the other player. Because we didn't want... Glacius is the one character that even if you're across the screen, you should be worried about what he's doing. And so we're going to be making some tweaks as to the characters to make sure that they upload that. Yeah, you need to get me back where you're going to just like get killed, and I'm purposely like jumping out. Giving me windows of opportunity here. Oh, no, that's...
Yeah, my gracious.
Oh, smoosh.
Sorry, Rich.
This is actually, this. If Rich was playing Glacius, I wouldn't have even hit him. This is actually this is Glacius' toughest match. We've had a lot of good, and this actually could be a really challenging match for Thunder because he has to get in, and you have to get in safely, right? So while I can do Sama mission to Skyfall to try to get closer, I have to be really careful because Glacius I have to wait for him to do something, otherwise I can't really bait it out of you. It's kind of like getting into a fireball match. I just locked it. Oh, really? You put on some armor? That's gonna help? That's gonna help? Oh god, ow. Heavy.
Oh!
Totally readable. So, one of the things you get used to in this game definitely is being able to read the breakers. So Torin went heavy that time, which Glacius has this really telling punch where he rears back his hand in the first attack on his auto, making it really easy to counter. And like we said, we sped up the timing such that all of the autos are a lot faster on lights. You can still read them if you're looking for them, but basically you'd have to be hovering over the buttons. So if you're not hovering over the buttons, you're not gonna be able to catch lights. Oh, shit for death. Ship death. Oh, he's bad.
Oh well.
So awesome.
Scream victory.
So awesome. Oh, that's kind of embarrassing.
Why did I...
How long have you been on this project?
Since the beginning. I'm just busy juggling this thing, trying to...
Tell you what, I'll be quiet and let you talk for a while, and that way you don't have that experience.
Okay. No, you've actually been talking and
I got better at that because of after E3 when I was on Twitch, the Twitch stream, I had to do that, and Mike Willette just beat the heck out of me while we were talking, and I made a point to get better. So I just sit there and I play, and I actually just talk to myself, and so people think I'm insane, but it actually does help in things like streams.
Gotta give that a whirl.
It's good.
I should just leave it.
It's good for you. Of course. Yeah, and I know that Ken Love would be, if Ken wasn't at Gamescom right now, he'd be sitting here telling me what I'm doing wrong. Ooh, nice. Oh, look at that, 47. Beautiful. Damage. I always imagine Glacius has like that internal voice like, Wile E. Coyote from the cartoon goes like, super genius. Yes, I just destroy you.
That's the first.
No, it's
Coyote.
It's just what I hear in my head. You know,
You probably hear a lot of things.
I do hear a lot of things in my head. It's the only thing that's kept me going as soon as she got this stuff. Oh!
Relentless pressure.
21% does. Oh, let me cancel that. Hey, how's it going? Everybody just keep jumping. Oh, let me kick one. Oh, man. Vulnerability for the loss. The good thing is you've forgotten that you can hold your projectile. Oh, ow. Oh! Should have had me when I was at the top of the jump there, where you need to do that.
Enrique Iglesias finisher singing "I Can Be Your Hero" baby. Done and done.
Well, I will tell you that one of the things we definitely want to do is explore the idea of letting you. I'm not promising this for launch, so please don't say take that as that. But one of the things we definitely want to do is explore the idea of adding more ultras over time to the game and letting you choose them. And so we can do everything from really kind of crazy ones to ones that are a little more silly. You know, there was a lot of stuff in the first few KIs that was just a lot of fun. There was a lot of stuff that was really wacky, right? And we want to bring some of that back. But because it's not completely pivotal to gameplay, it's one of those things we want to get to afterwards. We'd much rather land the core game and have the fights between all the characters and really concentrate on balance and the cast that we're bringing to the game rather than add that stuff right now. That's all stuff. Oh my gosh, that's lovely. That's all stuff that down the road we can totally do. I love that when he goes in, it gets that crazy chrome look to it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Alright, I'm gonna play some Saber Wolf. Let's see. What are you?
So apparently Gamescom's been going really well. A lot of great response there. The crowds have been huge. Apparently they've been out of the booth, down the streets. Well, maybe not entirely down the street, but it's been going really well. Yeah, Thunder's been showing really well.
Yep.
Getting some great pictures.
Yeah, and we're gonna have this build at PAX as well. So if you're in the States and you're coming up to PAX, you'll be able to play this game.
Yep.
And play the build and give us any feedback or anything that you have. We appreciate it. We read all of the Double Helix forums. We read Shoryuken. We're always lurking on NeoGAF. So
yep.
We do hear everything that people say and we listen and we take it into account. So please keep the comments coming from play or not. And we keep trying to address them and build them into our plans of our game.
Yep, we use them. We want to hear from you guys. You know, you're helping us build this thing. So.
Ooh, that was nice. Oh, actually, you know, that reminds me of one of the other things we changed. There were so many that we've been working on. So one of the things is that a lot of people were doing, and I should let you build a meter so you can do it. I love that. It's like enter into the wall bounce into a dash, and I'm right in your face again if you keep following up. Saber, so it's interesting. Saber is kind of, in some ways, a more basic character than others, but like he plays, it's so satisfying to play. Well, that because it's like, oh, let me knock you out. Ah, see, I got greedy. But anyway, one of the new things that we've changed. I forgot what I was talking about. Great. Love
something that we changed. You're playing Saber.
I know.
Like something. I was beating on you.
You were totally beating on me. There's something I was going to talk about. Anyway. Here, you mash my buttons while I just like beat on you in the corner. This is my favorite skin. This tri-color skin. We kind of call this. We affectionately call this yeah. Remember that? Yeah. Projectile. We affectionately call this the fox skin. Or someone's even called this the Bantegui skin. Heavy. Yeah. So obvious! Well, you're already beating me up, so not really complaining. Oh, yeah, so I remember what I was talking about now. You uppercutted me. So one of the things that we've done is we weren't really happy that basically, you know, a lot of people playing Jago, they would basically always end their combos with shadow uppercut, ow. That's how we went, so that was better. Around the world, I am so dead. So one of the things is you just did shadow uppercut. You can't do a second one. So what we've done is that basically shadows can link into other shadows, and you can juggle off of that, but you can't juggle off of the same thing twice. And we did that to cause some diversity. And the great thing is we found that people have adjusted to that pretty quickly, and so they're using different moves now, especially after an ender. in order to maximize damage, but you're not going to see a lot of the uppercut stuff that you were seeing before, simply because you can't.
Yep.
And it's forced people into different patterns, and it's nice. It's added some flair to it while still allowing you to get the hits and the damage that you got before. Oh, I'll see a shoot shot. Like that! Oh, one too early. Now I'm gonna pay for that. Ow, ow, ow. You better cancel that. You better cancel it. I want to see some high. I want to see high. I want to see it going. Keep going. Keep going. You're not even close. This is an 80. I'm gonna be ending. Oh!
My bad. It's all this pressure. It's performance anxiety. All you have to do is do it and just don't screw up in front of everyone.
Ultra.
Look what you do. Ultra fail. This is interesting.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. Which I can't hear the volume on this, so I'm curious. Which announcer is this?
I think it's.
Is this mic?
I think it's a pulse to mic, but I think in game it's this.
Yeah, we had to turn it on. It was echoing.
No, I was just curious. So one of the things we've done too, for all of you original KI fans out there, is you're going to actually have a choice of announcers. We have a new announcer, and we have Chris, the guy from Rare, who originally voiced the original announcer, has reprised his role. So we're actually going to have multiple announcers for you to choose from. So if you want to go OG and hear the old announcer from KI 1 and 2, we've got that with all of the new lines covered as well. And he sounds, for being 18 years different, he sounds exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
And it's awesome.
Super satisfying.
Yep.
It's really cool to do the game, and it sounds all the same. We've got our new comics that we love.
Yeah, and there's definitely...
He's not the only classic thing
Oh,
you
yeah.
see in the game. There's some special
Oh
stuff.
man, there are some things that for those of you that really love KI 1 and 2, the music of KI 1 and 2, we've got you covered. We have some really great stuff in here that you're going to be able to leverage. I think everyone's going to have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, there's some really nice callbacks to the original themes.
Yes, and it's stuff that you can utilize in game, and I think everyone's going to
was
enjoy
that
it. Yeah, I delayed it. I purposely delayed it. Yeah, he's just
so much drama.
I like the cut of your jib.
What?
You ever heard that? It's like
I have heard it, but I think my grandma said it.
I'm old. What do you want?
That's fantastic.
Oh, that was nice.
Cross up onto the grab. No, I don't know what you're doing. A lot of that now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Oh, wow. That was cool.
Oh, how did that not hit? Man. Robbed. Nice. Dude, nice. Yes, Thunder has been a great addition to the cast, and I cannot wait for us to, we're trying to be, as we're going through the cast and unveiling characters, we definitely have some fun stuff that we're going to do, and I think everyone will be happy. Oh, sorry. I fall in the habit of doing the uppercut all the time as an ender, and of course that's not what I wanted to do.
It's okay.
It's so sad.
We will not deny you Sharknado.
Okay, fine. You do it. I'll just be your victim. Go ahead and play Thunder, and I will play. I always like seeing Jago get hit. So let's get Jago get punched.
You're an ugly man.
No, it's just it's look at the hair and the I'm angry at that or something. I just don't like
I just think you're so cool.
It's just got that Rick Hunter kind of thing going on, except to the side.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's always disturbing. Yeah, so one of the things we've done is every stage, the way we're building the stages in this game is stages you either have a lot of destruction or a lot of environmental action. And we're going to go back and forth on that. And like Torin said, this stage is all about the weather and about a storm. So one of the things we've done is really play that up. So we're going to just have a little fight here, but as we get down to it, I will I'm telling you right now that the reason I'm losing, if I lose all, is because I'm purposely trying to lose so that Torin can beat me up.
Oh, that's
I'm not
convenient.
just saying that.
That's convenient.
Ah, yeah, I'm just gonna get that out of the way now. Ow, you dropped it. Oh, heavy knockdown too, so oh yeah, so went for the bluff.
Cool.
Ow. Yeah, one of the things we're doing too is to make sure that Thunder can always follow up his snares with Skyfall from any range. We're still tweaking that, sometimes you fall out. That's bad.
But I keep.
Oh, nice. And that was even a cross up. Ah. One kick. Yes. Oh god. So how are we coming on that new combo, Thunder combo Torin?
It's coming along. It's somewhere we're about set.
That might have something really shiny for people that they would really enjoy. Might have something really kind of awesome at the end there that you know we might have learned our lesson from. Oh, you are. I'm so sorry. I'm just like, but you know we might have learned a thing or two about teasing and how much we actually show you the tease. So I think we'll get we'll be a lot happier when we show this time around. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let you. Okay, come on. Let's see it. Okay, good. Let's see it. I would have killed you. Go for it. Let's see it. Go. Oh.
Where is it? There it is.
Oh my
So
god.
I will say that I still will say that this really have sharks. Oh god, behind the tree. We do need sharks. I think like at least one. Maybe that should be an alternate ultra. Dude, it looks awesome to win. An alternate ultra for Thunder is sharks fly out and like bite you. Oh, stage.
Yes.
So we do want to get to stage fatalities or something that we do eventually want to do. Maybe a Sharknado for that stage as a stage fatality. I'd actually go for that. I don't know if Double Helix would, but that would be a weird thing for us to like kind of insist on, you know, as like as the IP holder. I
Gonna
really
need to
feel
clean up
it's
in aisle 2. That was awesome. Guys are full of the clever puns today. I love it.
Alright, enough of this. Medium. Whoops. I know it's like a comfy sweater. See, there was a hold the projectile, use it as a 2-hit. Ah, you didn't shadow that. I'll take you back.
Grace isn't coming. You're on fire. You're on fire. Right? Yeah, it's like freaking.
Nice. Ah. Yeah, see, like I said, you can hover on lights if you really want to try again. It does work. You can definitely do it.
It's all about the lighting.
Yep. What pattern does he fall into? Also with Glacius, it's really easy to fall into mediums because generally, you know, if you're poking with your medium, you're pretty much always going to want to just double tap it and poke to a medium auto double, which is just the most obvious thing you could do. Like that, which is kind of break.
It happens, and it's a bad habit because we just everything was on medium in the beginning.
Yep.
The game. Blinkers are only on medium.
Yep. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, one of the things that's different about KI than a lot of other fighting games is that we're making a conscious effort that our game is about, a lot of fighting games just don't want to get hit. In KI, it's kind of an inevitability that you are going to be hit. So for our game, it's more about how do you deal with the fact that you're getting hit and what can you do to get out of it. What options do you have? We never wanted to make a fighting game where you didn't feel like you had an option. The thing that we all never liked, that KI never really was about, and we're trying to make that even more a part of the game, is the idea that you're never out of the fight. Like, there's always something you can do, there's always a move to trump something else, there's always an option you have, even when you're getting beaten on, you can get back in the game. You didn't fall to my block, I'm so sad. I didn't get it. And one of the things you try to do is you try to really get into the mind of other people like that, and basically understand, like, knowing on
Which character has been the most fun to work with so far?
Work on or work
with? That's
work with? All the characters are fun to play. I mean, like, that's the thing that I really love is other fighting games. I generally play some of the slower characters, or I play like the for lack of a better term, since you did kind of form the archetype as the Dalton type characters. So Glacius has been a lot of fun. Glacius has caused a lot of challenges. Like, he's one of the harder characters that we had getting a hard time we had getting right, simply because he's so different. All right, we'll go old school. He's so different than any other fighter we've done in a Killer Instinct game, right? Because Killer Instinct was always a game of rushdowns, right? You're basically in each other's faces. You had some zoning options, but really it was all about that closing game and beating on each other up close. So Glacius proved to be an extreme set of challenges, and his moveset and all of his stuff got redesigned multiple times while we were working on him, simply because we really wanted to figure out a way to make him function as a zoner character in a game that was always about combos and yeah.
You can see he's a zoning character. He has so many capabilities, but when he wants to get in your face, and he's in your face, and he's doing crazy combos as well. It took a while, like, I had to set the player.
Yeah, really.
A lot of iterations.
Like, he was.
We're really happy with
Yep. I'd say that the character that was the easiest to get into a really great state was probably Saber was super satisfying. It came together really, really well, even from the early versions of him. Thunder is also Thunder was actually really well when we first put him in. He was insanely powerful. Then the problem was because we had his specials were really well tuned, but none of his normals were. And Thunder is one of those characters that, it's weird. KI 1 and 2 are games where normals are kind of there, but really it's all about the specials. And we try to, remedy that by adding a lot of fixes and a lot of kind of poking and stuff like that you can do in the new version of KI. But for Thunder, it was really important to get his normals right. So Thunder's normals are actually really, really effective, and they came together really well. Like, he feels really strong. He fits in the roster really well, even for a character that's kind of slow, which, when you have a character that you can do a 10-hit combo and do 30% damage, that's a real different thing than any of the other stuff we have in the game. But yeah, Glacius has been a lot of fun to work on, just trying to figure out how we bring that kind of gameplay to life in KI. And that's one thing, like we said in other interviews, one of the things we try really hard to do is kind of land the characters that are really extreme first. So, we wanted to concentrate on kind of nailing we want to concentrate on really nailing the core characters that were going to be really radically different in the game than before we went to some of the other characters. Because there's a certain amount of expectations on some of the characters that may or may not be coming back for this first 8 that don't push things as far as some of the other characters did. What do you want me to do?
No. It's
just like talking to yourself. Well, they see you're practicing. That's good. And I didn't do it. Oh, you told it on me. No, that's good. Just close it. Come on. One thing we're experimenting with is that your health. One thing we're experimenting with is obviously you can see we take the health bar away when you're dead, so like, hey, you can stop hitting buttons right now. it'll be interesting to see, you know, obviously in a setting where anyone's kind of playing in a more like tournament atmosphere, we're not going to see people doing probably 100-hit ultras. That's a little sad.
Yeah,
But
we definitely have to strike a balance between having fun, players showing their personality through how they finish an opponent off, but also, you know, not sitting there for 5 minutes. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that, you know, it's part of the heritage of KI, which is why we still have it and we love them. But it's one of those things you probably see more in like casual play.
Yeah,
for sure. But I mean, like we have records. So the current record, even though it's on the old build, so I'm really curious to see if we get a new one out of Gamescom. Although there were a lot of people at Evo that got good at the game really quick, which is great to see. One of our goals was kind of, we wanted to get to the chess match of fighting games a lot faster than other fighting games have in the past. So, you know, that what did that mean? That meant, you know, making sure that the inputs were, you know, pretty easy to get, making it a really great training mode. And a lot of people will be really, especially those people that may not know a lot about fighting games, we have a really, really great training mode that will not only take you through all of how combos work, it goes into things that, you know, it goes into resets, it goes into frame links, it goes into every type of counter. Oh yeah, super powerful. Yeah. We go into all those kind of things to give you a really great understanding. We have a really neat way of kind of delivering how you learn moves that I think people find really easy to grasp. So we're really looking forward to how people think about training and then, you know, get more people into fighting games because we want everyone to play fighting games. Why not? It's awesome. But it seems like we're always kind of doing it. That's nice. 46. Look at that. It wasn't even that nasty. You know, we really. Rabbits are awesome. Yeah, one of the other things we've done too is that every character you do has some kind of nuance in terms of how they do combos. You know, Thunder, he can not only does he have grapples, but he has throw linkers. Saber has his rabbits, so basically what you do is once you get somebody locked out, once you get somebody locked out with Saber, you can kind of mash one of your attack buttons and you just keep mashing it over and over again and do rabbits, and they add this stupid amount of potential damage. So locking out or getting a counter breaker like that with Saber is just asking for, oh god, this is you dropped it!
That was.
Yeah, I didn't even expect it, so I wasn't even coming back with the block. Look at all that potential. Oh.
You guys gotta talk over your fight sticks.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, they get all cookie.
Mumbling.
I know you guys are okay.
Yeah,
you can tell when you're playing.
The new ones, you know, they have all those silent buttons now. I'm really curious to see how those play out on the new sticks. Yeah, it's really awesome that someone's done that. I really hope that they kind of become the norm because the one thing about fighting sticks is they've always been really bad.
I think it's kind of adds to the ambiance too.
Nice.
Kind of red.
Well, yeah, because you can hear like I'm playing. Oh my god, I'm freaking out!
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, and there's a certain amount of that that's kind of fun. Nice. Saber's so awesome. I love that skin. Yep.
A creature who shall not be named.
Yes.
Crashy nature.
Of a crashy nature that maybe something that starts with P and ends with a T.
Yeah.
Alright, we got another match or two left in you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will we wrap this?
Yeah, we'll play one more. Let's see.
I work on my creations.
Pink, gold.
Inspiring. Gold.
I can't wait to see some. I love the idea of the Jello one with the stuff floating around inside of them. That's so awesome.
Gotta do it.
Man, we'll have
You heard it,
think
Mike.
about that.
You heard it, Mike.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of whimsy that KI's always had, and I want to make sure one of our goals is to maintain that. Oh boy, wait till you see the skins and the accessories for the skins. Not only will you have some awesome classic stuff, but man, you're gonna have some stuff that's pretty out there. Why you didn't shadow counter that? Like, I'm the one that's using sucking my breath. That was horrible. Nice.
Let that throw range.
I love this. Get across the street. I was wondering why you weren't breaking it. Oh, no, you like my shadow timer? Oh, nice! Ah, spun me out. Yeah, obviously our combat system is never around the idea of KD, so as you're fighting, you basically have, you build up KD, which is short for knockdown value. You can see that on the bar over there, but basically when that bar goes red, you gotta be in your combo, otherwise, unless using shadows, otherwise you are going to drop and spin out the opponent. 60%, look at that. That's awesome. That's okay, I'm fine. Yep. I got a chance to play this. I've been playing even more recent builds, so I've been playing other characters. Other characters that people may even see one of. Yes, so yes, we are aware. We have a video coming. Whoa! So satisfied. Look at it again. Oh,
I like that. I'm like stunned. That makes me cry.
I'm just gonna go over here and heal and let you like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I can do that right now.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
No, I will not be able to do that very soon.
yeah,
So.
we haven't gotten that in.
Definitely, it won't be in the PAX build, but it will be shortly after that. We are working on other fun. There are a lot of other things coming. Oh man.
Oh darn it.
Yeah, and for everyone that there have been a lot of interesting forum comments on which of the first 8 characters are coming back. I will tell you that people have some pretty good guesses. I'm actually pretty surprised. It's some of them. It's kind of like, well, no duh, why wouldn't we do that character?
Yeah.
But there's I will tell you that we do have at least one in there that I don't think.
Do one more with Chief or Thunder.
Got it.
Maybe you're calling him the full name in here.
Thunder.
Richness.
Yeah, actually, did you say you're not supposed to say that word? What word are you saying, Alex?
I said Thunder.
Yeah, that's...
I know. I almost said because I keep reading it in the chat.
So yeah, so I'll just address this since this is one of those things. So yes, like there's even a comment like, Microsoft doesn't say Chief Thunder, they just say Thunder. And yes, that's true. We do. He's just called Thunder now. You can append Chief Thunder on there if you'd like. It's one of the changes in the lexicon. We wanted to again make him more of an authentic character, and just calling him Chief before everything is just didn't feel like the right thing to do this time around.
Yeah, just considering
obviously one.
Yeah,
he's obviously a boss.
He's obviously a big badass guy. One of the things when we were working with the people we work with on the Nestor's tribe, one of the things we tried to get across is that he's basically the idea of a superhero. So he's the idea of a superhero for that tribe. So he's still exaggerated proportions and things like that, but he's very much more real in terms of
Yes.
No, just
he's definitely an authentic, but definitely a portrayal that is suited that really fits the style of the style of the other characters. Modernized, but definitely.
Yeah, and it was tough. I mean, like, we really, one of the things we really wanted to do is, when we were going through his repertoire, when we were talking about bringing him back, there was the question of Phoenix, and there's the back and forth linker. And Phoenix was one of those movies that we really we liked it for the steerable properties. That was always the thing that was really so cool about that movie. But it was one of those, when we looked at the roster, one of the things we were really critical about is that in the original KI games, everyone had a fireball. Everyone pretty much had the idea of a fireball and you kind of slide/projectile move. And it's again one of those things that we felt at the time, when KI 1 2, okay, cool, that's awesome that those were in there. But this time around again, it was one of those decisions where we felt that we could really capture the awesome of how this character plays without having to resort to going back to having to have a projectile. And it's definitely a conversation we have on all of the characters from the first few games as we kind of go through and talk about which ones we're bringing back and which ones we're in development on. It's always about like, yeah, but is that really the way that this character should play in this day and age?
We got a Ken Long window stick, please, for the mustache.
Awesome. Who's the character from Is It Family Guy? Like, there's a character in Family Guy that people have been linking to that, like, it totally looks like Ken. Like, I showed it to Ken and he just started laughing.
Oh my god, I haven't seen it. I like Family
Oh, instinct cancel. It's going to be double instinct, and the Ravens are awesome. Like the whole teleport thing. So yeah, so Phoenix didn't make the cut, but we did try to give him a lot of functionality of his other moves. You know, he did have the ability to dive as well from his Samamish in the original games. But what we've done with that is to do the Skyfall cancel. So that now that's actually a more tricky part of his game and something that you have to have a little more skill in to get really good with, because we felt like that was still satisfying the way that he used to play, but also kind of respecting, adding a little more gameplay that's more modernized for what people are used to in fighting games today. So yeah, he's been a heck of a lot of fun to work on. Like Thunder, well, there's some other characters too that are really freaking awesome that we can't talk about, unfortunately.
But we will be able to soon.
Really
Upcoming
soon.
streams,
Yes, oh
we'll
my
be
gosh.
able to talk about and show you in full vivid.
Yes, we will.
Color.
Yes, hopefully
Very soon.
next stream maybe we can.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe I can't promise that, but
next stream might.
because
It depends on how we want to roll out.
yeah,
but
I mean, but like I would be actually. It's too bad, honestly. I would be really tempted if Alex had it sitting on her machine. I'd be really tempted to just. I will tell you, if Ken was in this, I would just say, you know what? Ken would literally be like, put it on right now.
Yeah,
Ken would literally be like, put that video on right now. And I would love to do that.
Here, people want to see it.
I apologize if we make you wait a little bit, but we'll get it out
Ken will be
there.
joining us next round as well.
Yes, he will be. Ken will definitely be in on this next round. I know if he wasn't in Gamescom, he would be sitting there right now. So, just,
Make sure you all say how awesome it was.
oh yeah, totally brought that.
So, after this match,
Oh, nice! I saw the headbutt and I broke on the even though I saw it.
he said Mike can reach out of the room so he can reveal the next character.
Oh, they're working on him. You know, one of the things is like, you know, I know people are like, hey, I have a roster. How's that going to work? Yeah. Oh, that was interesting. You know, one of the things we've said is we're trying to build a fighting game very differently than other fighting games, and that is that we want to be able to react to what the community likes and doesn't like, and also be able to build characters that the community wants to play. And so, yeah, our roster is small at first, and it's going to grow over time. You know, it's not just 8 characters, I'll tell you that. You know, a lot of people have guessed at some of the stuff that we want to do in the future in terms of how we're going to price things. Rest assured that even if we had, by the time we have, let's say, I don't know, 24 characters in the game, maybe 2 million, well, even, I'll just say 24 for now, because, you know, our clip of 8, per season, you will still, at about that point, you might be at the same cost of retail. I mean, we're definitely doing a lot of stuff here that we're trying to be very good to players that want to get in and play the game in terms of the model, and we want to build characters that people want to play. And I know I'll probably make some enemies by saying this, but Maya, really? One second. Those really want to play that character? I mean, like, we'll bring them back if people really want them, but it's a matter of, you know, we want to build the game with you guys and with the community. So that's one thing. Sort of, yeah. Oh, the overhead.
Well played, sir. And well talking.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, so we're going to grow the roster over time. The first 8 is not it. We're always going to have deals. We're always going to have ways that you can buy them in packages. We're not just going to nickel and dime people. You know, $5 is if you just want to dip on one. We're going to have other ways that you can try out the characters. We don't have everything all settled on that yet, but it's not, you know, Jago for now, but there's going to be other things we're going to explore to hopefully get everyone able to try everyone before they buy it. So we're working on a lot of things that we really want to get to the community, and we really want to help you guys be informed about your purchase. If you want to dive in and play KI, we hope everyone will anyway because it's free. You try Jago. Yes, there will be a lot of Jagos online. We're also going to we're working on ways to make sure that that's not always the case, but yeah, no, this game has been a real delight to develop, and I hope we can keep building this for a long time.
We'll be announcing the stream schedule really soon, so everybody stay tuned. They're begging for a teaser before we sign off. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have
we haven't teased enough.
Okay,
I know.
I will tell you this, that you will not see the next character coming in terms of who they may be. Interesting. Yeah. I will also tell you that it is a character that, again, does some things that KI never really explored, and we have made a character that plays very differently than these first four that you've seen so far.
Oh snap!
Oh snap!
Yeah, definite specialties.
Snap,
snap! Like there's we have a grappler, we have a zoner tile character, we have a hybrid,
we have a rushdown,
and we have something.
And yes,
totally
I think people will be really. Some people will be like, "What did I just see?" But the cool thing is that they fit really well into the KI lore, and it's a character that I think everyone will get a real kick out of. And there's enough in the tease is definitely more than a tease, so you guys will be able to judge for yourselves what you think.
And it may provide something that's been missing up to this point.
Yeah, something that we haven't really delved into before in KI, so...
Well, just up to this point.
It's going nuts. Also, someone wants you to wash your Cappy shirt and send it to him.
Yes, much love for Cappy, man.
You want it washed?
Super Time Force.
You want an authentic and...
Oh, Super Time Force below, they're so... I get to play them on a regular basis.
Those guys are awesome.
Oh, they're great. Anyway,
thanks for joining. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Double Helix too. Shout out to those guys.
And tune in next time.
Yes, thank you, Double Helix. You've been an awesome partner, and we love working with you, and we will continue to.
Okay. Bye.
Stay on.